Welcome back, guys, to another video. In this week's video, I'm going to be talking about RPG games I haven't beaten. Now, some of these games may surprise you, so sit back, relax, and let's go. Now, for you guys that are watching, if you guys have played RPGs or you're into the genre, you know that these games are very immersive, and they're games that take a lot of time, and sometimes we don't finish them. Rather it be going to another game. I have a bad habit of doing that. I'll play one game and start playing another and kind of forget about the other one. Or it could be like a dungeon or a really hard boss fight, or maybe the story itself was getting kind of stale and kind of turned you off. What I want to talk about is I want to talk about 3 games. Because, I mean, there's a lot more RPGs I haven't finished. But I'm talking about 3 that I really enjoyed that one day, one sweet day, I will finish them. And I want to start first with a game on the PlayStation 3, and that is No Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. Now, I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan, and I absolutely love Level 5. I love the way Level 5 does their games, like the way they helped out with Dragon Quest VIII and the very underrated Rogue Galaxy on the PS2. So when I heard of these two coming together and bumping uglies and making a great RPG, I was right on it. And here's the funny thing. I didn't have a PlayStation 3. I actually bought a PlayStation 3 just to play this game, and I still haven't beaten it. That's really something else. But I really liked the game. It had that Studio Ghibli feel to it. The atmosphere was so just colorful, and I loved the voice acting. And I loved the battle system and the story. The use of these monsters and alchemy added endless possibilities to create the ultimate perfect party for this game. And from what I played, the story was very emotional too, and I'd really love to see the climax and conclusion of this game. I just need to go ahead and finish it. Now, the next game I want to talk about is actually on the Nintendo Wii, and it was a very sought after game, and it had a very hefty price tag. I think you guys already know what it is, and that was Xenoblade Chronicles. Now, I didn't spend over $100 on this game. I actually found it for a good price for around like $60, $65, and I'm glad I got it. It's definitely a very, very great game to play on the Wii, and honestly, out of all these games, this is probably the one I haven't really played the most. I probably played at least about 2 or 3 hours of it, but just that 2 or 3 hours that I played in it, I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the battle system. It was almost like an MMO kind of feel to it. I really liked the art style that it had. It almost had that steampunk, medieval kind of look to it. I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff, and the only thing I didn't like about the game that kind of turned me off was the English voice acting. And I really, there's something about it. I don't know if it was because the character models don't really match the voices in my mind, but it sounded very fake to me. Like, it sounded like everyone was talking with that very fake British Pirates of the Caribbean accents. And I think when I go back and play, I think I'm going to go back and play it in Japanese, and I'll probably enjoy it a little bit more. And for you guys that are kind of confused about Pirates of the Caribbean accents, it's not like they all sound like Jack Sparrow, but they're just like, oh no, let's go over here and let's grab a nice boat, let's go really, really fast. And I was just like, this sounds so fake. So that kind of turned me off. But Xenoblade Chronicles, very, very fun game. Last game I want to talk about is really going to lift some eyebrows. You guys are going to be like, what the hell? But I have a little story to it, so just bear with me. I don't have the version that's on the Super Nintendo because it's pretty expensive and I haven't been able to find a good deal for it. I've been thinking about getting the version that's on the Nintendo DS because I hear that's a little bit better. I had the PlayStation 1 version that's on a compilation of Final Fantasy Chronicles. Now, the game I'm talking about is Chrono Trigger. I've never finished Chrono Trigger. Oh my gosh! Yeah, I know. I didn't know about this game until it came out for Final Fantasy Chronicles. I didn't really know about it back when I had a Super Nintendo. I didn't really hear that much about it, but I played it and I really enjoyed it, and I really loved the time traveling. The soundtrack itself is just phenomenal, and all the characters that seem to build on this vast storyline is really cool. The problem was, when I got this game, was not only did it come up with Chrono Trigger, but also came with a version of Final Fantasy IV, which is also known as Final Fantasy II on the Super Nintendo. And the problem was, I'm a huge Final Fantasy IV fan, and I bought this game because they were mentioning that this version of Final Fantasy IV is more accurate to the Japanese translation, and it was a little harder, and they added a little bit of things like CG cutscenes and stuff like that. So I remember I was playing Chrono Trigger and something happened, I got kind of stuck, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try Final Fantasy for a second. Never looked back. I ended up beating Final Fantasy IV again and loving it. But I always had Chrono Trigger. It was kind of like that that betrayed Data to dance is just kind of standing in the corner by the punch bowl that's looking at you while you dance with someone else, and I feel really bad. I should go back and play this game, definitely. You guys are gonna hate me. So anyway, guys, that is some RPGs I haven't beaten. Now, how about you guys leave a comment below? Tell me some games, some RPGs that you haven't finished. I'd love to hear from you guys. Maybe it was, and tell me why. Maybe it was a dungeon or a boss fight, or maybe you're pissed off that your favorite character died and you kind of boycott it and you're just like, I'm never going to play this game ever again. I love to hear from you guys. I love the interaction and discussion on my channel. So definitely do that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.